You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Sometimes writers feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
My name is Jessie. I'm a United States Special Forces widow. This gives me a unique perspective on the world around us. If you're willing to listen, I'll tell you how I see it, and I won't pull any punches. This is my POV, which stands for Point of View.
All right, it's Jessie. How y'all doing out there tonight? You know I miss you when we're not talking. First, I gotta say something that 99% of my listeners probably won't understand, but I'm gonna say it, then bear with me, I'll explain it. Hag Sameach, which means happy holiday in Hebrew, and it's my way of saying happy Hanukkah. Yes, you have a Jewish host for those of you who have forgotten.
Come, let us join in celebration of victories won so long ago. The temple was rededicated, the flames still bright with freedom's glow.
Yes, it is the first night of Hanukkah. Now, this is going to be quite the week around here. What do you mean? Boy, is it going to be a week. You're looking at me sideways. Well, let's see. Where would you like to start? No, I'm not going to talk about Senator Stupid. You guys ought to know me by now. You can catch all the stuff about Senator Moore and whoever his opponent is. That tells you how much I keep up. On Jen and Rick, and they're coming up at 10. What, you think you missed America Off the Rails? Well, you did miss it live, but go to your favorite podcast location, and I'm willing to bet it's going to be there. Why do I say that? What about iTunes? It's there? Yep. Google Play? Yep. I mean, my show's in all the same places. My show's on iHeart. And we finally got a successful airing of the episode on robots and robot ethics last night. Now, I've got something special to tell you guys. Yep, I do. I won't be alone the rest of this week. This is my only show alone all week. What? Alright, my favorite recurring guest, who I keep trying to call a co-host, but he's not on quite regularly enough. Although, maybe with some pressure we can get him to commit to at least once a month, although he's usually on at least that often. Maybe we can get him to take the title co-host. Justin Kinney will be on with me tomorrow night. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Haven't talked to the guy in a couple of dog's ages. Oh yeah, we've exchanged a few text messages. But that's nothing like what we get into having him on air. Because not only do I get to pester him and get my perspective answered, if you're in the chat room over at KLRNRadio.com, you can get to have a say in it. Now, I don't normally cover U.S. news. But, of course, you know when there's a terrorist attack, I kind of make an exception. So, we will be discussing the New York attack. Yes, we will. And I'm sure I'm going to have 20 other topics by the time I get done. That just seems to be the way it works for me. You guys know I'll start off in A and end up on at least D or F. And occasionally I get all the way to Z. So, alright, couple of quick things out of the way. Yes, I did light my Hanukkah menorah tonight. Come on, I'm not going to skip candle lighting. 2. There's a lot going on that most people aren't playing connect the dots with. Yeah. And I'm taking a look back at history. Now, I'm not sure it's a direct correlation, but like I said, there's a lot going on, and a lot of these similarities have me going, ruh-roh. Alright. First of all, Mount Mantap, which is North Korea's nuclear test site, still has tremors. That is how big, how bad, and how extensive the damage to this mountain has been. Now, the North Portal, where the last 5 tests were conducted, it's mostly abandoned. We figure it's going to be abandoned for some time. But North Korea is not going to let go of that site. They're working on the West Tunnel, the West Portal. There's been a consistently high level of activity since North Korea's nuclear test. This includes vehicles, personnel, movement of mining carts, fresh signs of soil being dumped onto the spoil pile. This tells anybody with a brain they're excavating another tunnel. North Korea does their tests underground to try and minimize the chaos. I mean, yeah. But, like I said, This is not good. The North Portal looks like they're going to leave it alone. Not going to mess with it. But they're digging in the West Portal. So, can't say I like any of that. I mean, there's a lot going on. And I was just flipping through some of the satellite imagery that I found. And looks like there's some unusual snowmelt in a few places, but I can't identify them well enough to call them out. They look to be around the North Tunnel, above it. Which, could that be from radiation? Well, that's a question for Doc, but I may hit her up on Twitter and ask her. Because there's snow everywhere else except this patch of ground on top of the North Tunnel. That's odd. Alright, that's not the only thing going on with North Korea. I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. North Korea looks to be developing chem bio weapons. Yeah, that's not something we want to see. Now, that's bad. It just flat out is. Do you really need me to explain North Korea having chemical biological weapons? Meanwhile, Kim Jong-un is pledging to have the strongest nuclear power. I mean, that's another not good. It was a conference held in Pyongyang discussing the Hwasong 15. And they're building at least one other launch site for that thing. And that's also not good. What can I say? None of that is good stuff. Now, let's talk more about those chem bio weapons and the sound you've all been waiting for. Yep, that's the show prep. Sounds thick, and in some ways it is. All right. U.S. intel 5 months before North Korea's first nuclear test in 2006. Yeah, we're going back a while. U.S. intelligence officials sent a report to Congress warning that secret work was also underway on a bioweapon. And the communist regime, which had long ago acquired the pathogens that cause, you ready? Smallpox and anthrax. You're kidding me. No. Smallpox and anthrax. Now, they'd assembled a team of scientists, but they seem to be lacking in certain technical skills. And a decade later, we know how fast North Korea is advancing. It's moving steadily towards acquiring the essential machinery that could be used for an advanced bioweapons program. And you have to realize they already have some micro-producing technology. So, now, remember what I think about how they're getting most of their advances. I think they are being paid for by none other than Iran. Alright, word back from Doc. She says it looks like other factors are at play in the satellite imagery that I provided to her. Underground radiation will affect vegetation, which will make the land barren, nothing for the snow to cling to. But she feels that the missing snow above the North Tunnel is probably from the trucks moving around. And I couldn't tell, but I wanted a second opinion. And I won't deny it. I need another cup of coffee, and I will definitely pour myself one. In fact, why don't I do it right now? And no, that wasn't the sound effect from Coffee Shop. That was me actually reaching over to the pot of coffee on my desk and pouring a cup of coffee live on air. It's been one of those days, kids. It has been one of those days. Now, Nikki Haley has been at it in the UN again. And she's about to blow the lid off a couple other things. But let's finish up North Korea. And we'll talk Nikki Haley and more Jerusalem and other things after the commercial break, coming up in about 6 minutes. All right. For those of you who are unaware, North Korea just had a very special visitor. They had a UN envoy fly to Pyongyang. Jeffrey Feltman. And you've heard some of his audio on the air here on previous occasions. So they had Jeffrey Feltman show up. Now I haven't figured out I haven't been able to catch what happened, but he was there for 4 days. Now, of course, North Korea's propaganda claims that, well, he agrees that the sanctions are hampering humanitarian efforts. Well, of course they're going to, but you're also discussing a country that won't feed its own people, even if they have the food and the money. You are discussing a regime that just doesn't care. I mean, now, of course, the UN is always going to be the ones to say, let's promote peace, let's talk. There is a point at which talk becomes futile. Do I think we're there? No. I think we're darn close. And to use one of their sayings, I think we're towing the line. You don't know why I say the exact words, towing the line? Well, here's why. Right now, if we want to send a message to the North Koreans, they won't. We have given them what's called a ring-down phone. Yes, we have given them what is called a ring-down phone. Meaning we pick up the phone to talk to them, and the phone automatically rings on their end. No work needed. However, they haven't been answering it. They haven't been answering. No, they haven't. So all they have to do is pick up the phone, but they haven't. So how we get a message to them? Well, unfortunately, we are reduced to someone from the South literally walking up within just a few feet of the line that separates North and South Korea and literally yelling the message across. Now, I do have let's see. I'm looking. Give me just a moment. That's old. I'm looking for something more recent. I found a statement from Jeffrey Feltman on the DPRK. Oh, no, this is not old. Let's take a listen. Give me just a moment and I will get this queued up for you.
Good evening. I've just briefed the members of the Security Council on my visit to the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, the DPRK. The visit was the first in-depth political exchange of views between the UN Secretariat and officials in Pyongyang in almost 8 years. In Pyongyang, I had lengthy discussions with the Foreign Minister and the Vice Foreign Minister, Foreign Minister Ri Yong-ho and Vice Foreign Minister Pak Myung-guk, who agreed that the current situation on the Korean Peninsula was the most tense and dangerous peace and security issue in the world today. I stressed the urgent need to prevent miscalculation and reduce the risk of conflict. We have no time to waste. I reiterated the call for the full implementation of all relevant Security Council resolutions. I underlined that the international community is both committed to a peaceful political solution to the situation on the Korean Peninsula and united in its opposition to the DPRK's pursuit of nuclear weapons. I emphasized the importance of opening or reopening technical channels of communication, such as the military-to-military hotline, to reduce risks, to signal intentions, to prevent misunderstandings, and manage any crisis. I also urged the DPRK to signal that it was prepared to consider a different direction, prepared to consider engagement, talks about talks. The UN or others can facilitate both of these processes if desired. My interlocutors and I agreed that my visit was only a beginning and that we should continue our dialogue.
All right, well, you guys know how I feel about either A, talking with North Korea, who, might I remind you folks, is trading with none other than Iran, who they literally wrote the book. Quite literally, wrote the book on evading sanctions. I mean, don't even get me started on Iran and evading sanctions. Don't even get me started. All right, I have blown through the start of the commercial break. So we are going to take that commercial break, and I will see you on the other side.
Come, let us join in celebration of victories won so long ago. The temple was rededicated, the flame still bright with freedom's glow.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Come let us join in celebration of victories won so long ago. The temple was rededicated, the flame still bright with freedom's glow.
All right, thank y'all for hanging in there with me while we paid those radio station bills. Yes, now, we do have other things I do want to discuss. There has been a lot going on. I mean, we have everything from the declaration of Jerusalem as the capital, which I do have a few moments of Nikki Haley's speech to bring to you. It'll take just a second for me to get it queued up. But I do have just a few moments of it.
There was more reaction from the United Nations on Friday when...
Trying to get it queued up. Hang on. It's arguing with me. You know, these things don't always go as planned. But, yeah, you know me, half-prepped audio. Hang on, I think we finally got this whacking in tune.
People are a patient people. Throughout 3,000 years of civilization, foreign conquest, exile, and return, Jerusalem has remained their spiritual home. For nearly 70 years, the city of Jerusalem has been the capital of the state of Israel, despite many attempts by others to deny that reality. The American people are less patient. In 1948, the United States was the first nation to recognize the independent state of Israel. In 1995, the U.S. Congress declared that Jerusalem should be recognized as the capital of Israel and that the U.S. Embassy should be located in Jerusalem. Presidents Clinton, Bush, and Obama all agreed with that position, but they did not act. They delayed in the hopes that a peace process would produce results that never came. For 22 years, the American people have overwhelmingly supported that position, and they have waited and waited. This week, President Trump finally made the decision to no longer deny the will of the American people. It's important to be clear about exactly what the president's decision does. The president has announced that the United States recognizes the obvious, that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. He has also instructed the State Department to begin the process of relocating the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. That is what the president has done. And
all right, so that's what the president has done. He has not said that there cannot be a two-state solution. He has not said that Israel is the only people with claims to Jerusalem at all. He has not, repeat, has not tried to dissuade anyone from pursuing peace talks. In fact, President Trump would love to get some peace talks underway. We haven't had, let's face it, folks, despite all the bluster, every president talks Middle East peace. Every one of them. I don't care who they are. The last ones, and I did some research on this, the last ones to successfully have what I would call any kind of successful peace talks would have to be Ronald Reagan. Yep. Ronald Reagan. Now that's been a cool minute, friends. So, you've got HW, you got Clinton, you got W, you got Obama. None of them got anywhere. So, I don't want to hear about how all this is just one person's fault. So, they can all take a long walk off a very short plank. Thank you. All right. Got another topic I want to touch on just because, well, it is terrorism, plain and simple. Monday, there was an attempted terror attack that injured 5 commuters, but basically the person trying to carry out the attack was about as effective as a plastic knife would be at cutting metal. He wasn't. The blast happened around 7:20 in the morning in an underground walkway connecting two subway lines. The suspect was spotted on his security camera as he began to climb the subway station stairs. He then switched to the A train. Now, he has been named as Aqid Ullah, a Bangladeshi. He has been living in the United States since 2011 on an F-43 family immigrant visa. He is a lawful permanent resident who lives in Brooklyn and has no criminal background, at least until now. He had pledged allegiance to ISIS, and he carried out electrical work close to the Port Authority along with his brother. Now, here's the deal. This guy got here through chain migration. Yep. Somebody in his family won the lottery, the visa lottery. Then they got here. And he was brought in under one of the most rarely, limited exceptions. So this guy had to have 1,000 things in his favor to get here. And he made it. Well, instead of being grateful, he attacked us. Point blank. This was an act of terror. And I don't want to hear anything. All right? Feel free to call me out. I don't want to hear anything about, we're a country of immigrants. Yeah, we are. But we are the only country on the planet that doesn't demand that you can support yourself when you come here. That you have the skills necessary to live without government assistance. We are one of the only countries on the planet who doesn't tightly control who they let in, why they let them in, when they let them in, and how they let them in. We are one of the only countries on the planet that does not make you have a specific bank balance to come here. So, yes, we are a country of immigrants. But I'm beginning to think we have given enough to this world. We have given enough people, at least for the time being, a free pass. When you win the visa lottery, that's it, you're coming. And there's not much anybody can say or do about it. And I'm not sure that's the best way, randomly pulling names out of a hat to pick those who come here. Now, I will get into immigration. But this guy, while he was a legal resident, I'm going to take a small step out on a limb here. I have a feeling he doesn't love this country. Now, I have one more issue to discuss, and this guy is not worthy of taps. I'm going to call this guy a traitor to this country. While I'm discussing people that do not love this country, I am going to discuss someone who was dishonorably discharged and used to wear the an Army uniform, who I am going to flat out call a traitor. And he passed away. And yeah, I'm going to call him a traitor. All right, his name is Charles Jenkins. He's a former U.S. Army soldier who deserted. You want to know what country he ran to? Any guesses? Any guesses? He crossed the 38th parallel and ran to North Korea at the height of the Cold War. Yep. He died Monday. He was originally from Rich Square, North Carolina, and he disappeared in 1965 while on patrol along the DMZ. His original plan was to seek asylum with the Russian embassy and eventually return to the U.S. in a prisoner swap. Russia didn't grant him asylum. Instead, Russia went, "Here, North Korea, you want this?" And so he was held prisoner by North Korea for 40 years. I can sum up my whole opinion on this clown as, you, sir, were an idiot. You, sir, may have suffered at the hands of the North Koreans, but you put yourself in that position. And I don't want to hear anybody whining to me about me not being nice about him. Yes, you, sir, may have worn the uniform of the United States Armed Forces. However, you do not deserve taps. Your name will not be read with those who deserve taps tonight. And you, sir, are scum. Now, I wish I could say those words to his face. Unfortunately, he's gone. But while I gather the information for taps, I'm going to play my special Hanukkah bumper music just one more time for y'all while I get everything together, because we are ending tonight's show on taps. I have a little more background information on one of the folks than I usually do. So it's going to take me a minute to shuffle through these papers. So I'm going to play my special Hanukkah bumper music.
Come, let us join in celebration of victories won so long ago. The temple was rededicated, the flames still bright with freedom's glow.
All right, thank y'all for hanging in there with me while I attempted to find all of my notes. I'm still looking, but we do have two soldiers we are going to honor this evening with taps. One perished on the Korean Peninsula. Yeah, no joke. One perished on the Korean Peninsula. And you guys are all looking at going, wait a minute. No, he didn't run across the 38th parallel. No, it had nothing to do with the bullets flying when the defector. Now, before I get to that, I've got one more story that I do want to touch on. And I'm going to read the official press release for this one. All right. And the title of this one is DOD complying with court orders to accept transgender persons into the military. As required by recent federal district court orders, the Department of Defense recently announced it will begin processing transgender applicants for military service on January 1st, 2018. Now, I'm going to read you the whole press release because it sets out some guidelines. The United States District Court for the District of Columbia ordered DOD to implement effectively January 1st, 2018, the Ascension Policy issued by former Secretary Carter in 2016. The Department of Defense and Department of Justice are actively pursuing relief from those court orders in order to allow an ongoing policy review scheduled to be completed before the end of March. Under the 2016 Carter policy, a history of gender dysphoria is disqualifying. Let me repeat that. Under the 2016 Carter policy, a history of gender dysphoria is disqualifying unless, as certified by a licensed medical provider, the applicant has been stable without clinically significant distress or impairment in social, occupational, or other important areas of functioning for 18 months. Additionally, a history of medical treatment associated with gender transition is disqualifying unless, as certified by a licensed medical provider, the applicant has completed, repeat, has completed all medical treatment associated with the applicant's gender transition. The applicant has been stable in the preferred gender for 18 months, and if presently receiving cross-sex hormone therapy post-gender transition, the individual has been stable on such hormones for 18 months. Guidance also includes specific details for recruits with a history of sex reassignment or reconstructive surgery. Under the updated standards, those procedures would be disqualifying unless they were certified by a licensed medical provider that a period of 18 months has elapsed since the most recent surgery, and there are no functional limitations or complications. All right, based under what I read, I'm guessing and I'm speculating most trans aren't going to qualify. So that is pure speculation on my part, but I will go out on that limb to say it. All right. Now on to TAPS. Sergeant Eric Schneck, 33, of Placerville, California, died of injuries suffered in a traffic accident as his convoy was returning to Suwon Air Base from a field training exercise. And he was with the 652 Air Defense Artillery, 6th Battalion, 52nd ADA Regiment. All right. Staff Sergeant David Thomas Brandbeer, 24, of Anchorage, Alaska, died December 11th in Nangarhar Province, Afghanistan, as a result of a non-combat related incident. He was assigned to the 3rd Battalion, 509th Infantry Regiment, 4th Infantry Brigade Combat Team, 25th Infantry Division, U.S. Army Alaska Joint Base, Elmendorf, Richardson, Alaska.